They said we could not do it. They said it wasn't possible. But we did it. We created a free radio station to bring the people together and spread an alternative message from the mainstream. They tried to silence us. They tried to hack us. But we carried on. You cannot silence the truth. You cannot enslave freedom. You cannot stop a good idea. You cannot stop Darkcity Radio. The crew is now bigger and stronger than ever before. We will not be kept off the airwaves. We will continue. This is not our radio. This is your radio. This is Darkcity Radio.
This is your Darkcity. This is your Darkcity.
This is your Darkcity.
This is your Darkcity.
This is your Darkcity.
This is your Darkcity Radio.
BDcoded on the Darkcity Radio. I'm Jabba, your host for the next hour, and I have the pleasure to have Danny Shine on the show. Can you hear us?
I can. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Jabba, and I can hear Danny as well.
Oh,
yes. I think I have a very
me.
bad connection.
Right. Well, we've got. I can hear both of you quite well, Jabba. I don't know if you're still on the line, Jabba. Yeah, we're struggling with Jabba this evening. His connection's been terrible over the last few days. Yeah, we just lost Jabba again. So anyway, Jabba will connect with us. We'll do the best we can. Danny Shine, the legendary street. Oh, what do we call you, Danny? What do you call you? Creator of the Love Police, raiser of positive energy and the lure of fear and the dispelling of authority amongst these figures of authority. Danny, may I once again welcome you to Darkcity Radio.
Thank you very much. What a lovely welcome.
Well, it's all true, Danny. I've followed your work for a number of years now, and the undercover anti-terrorist squad. I think these are the sheer works of genius, Danny. I really do.
Thank you.
Just for the viewers, Danny.
Do you know where I can find like very, very rich people that realise it's the work of genius? That's my problem at the moment.
Say again, Danny. You're a little bit muffled.
I'm trying to find very, very rich people, like obscenely rich people, who think that it's also a work of genius.
Oh, well, I think that...
Do you know any obscenely rich people?
Yes, I do, actually. But they got that way by being very tight, Danny.
Yes, I know. I've just put out a film about that, actually. I don't know if you've seen it, because I'm about to launch an Indiegogo campaign for a film about my current court case.
Well, absolutely brilliant. I think it's a great idea, Danny. I'm sure you will get the support. We are also launching an Indiegogo for Rick Simpson,
brilliant.
For Rick Simpson's oil.
Wonderful.
For Spain in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, why not? If certain associates can make £300,000 to launch another media station.
How did you get that?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. He's good, isn't he?
Yes, right. I got Jabba back here. So, I don't know where Jabba was going to start with you, but we are trying to get him back in again now. Jabba, are you back with us, mate?
Yes, really sorry. It's very bad since a couple of weeks. You can hear me?
Yep, 100%. I don't know if can you hear us? Look, we can hear you, Jabba. You're all right. We can hear you.
But he can't hear us say that we can hear him. So how does he know?
I don't know, because I can type it in the room, Danny.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. Type it to him.
This is the beauty of live radio, isn't it? Especially across the internet. I mean, maybe we should get Jabba on our new Rumble server. So anyway, I'll do the best I can, Danny. Drop right in it here with you, mate. That's sure. I suppose you are as well. Nothing prepared for you here. Danny, do you want to tell people how you actually got started with what can we best call it? Street theatre, would you call it? What would you call it, Danny, with the work you do on the street?
I call it different things at different times, you know. So it's street theatre, it's... people have called me all sorts of things. So street theatre, cultural hijacking. That I stole that from a recent exhibition that I went to for all these people that are doing all sorts of things to hijack the culture. So cultural hijacking, wake-up artist, bullshit artist. Just a very naughty boy, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah, very naughty. You are a naughty boy, Danny.
I know.
I have witnessed this. You've been naughty on many occasions.
I know, and my mother-in-law is not impressed.
No. Right,
No.
well, you can get a 2-for-1 trading, apparently, for mother-in-laws at the moment. They're doing a real good deal. So I believe, Danny. But, hey, don't let the mother-in-law hear that. Or the wife, actually. Don't let the wife.
No, they won't be listening. I can assure you they don't listen to a word I say.
I have that problem as well. Or not a problem, actually. Could be an advantage.
No, it's fine, yeah, it's fine. They don't really know what I'm up to then, that way.
So really, there we go. There's many names for what you do. I mean, it's definitely art. I would put it down to the field of art, and definitely entertainment.
Right.
I have watched you many times capture a situation, literally just like playing theatre in the round, Danny. And especially with authority. So, do you want to, I mean, have you got any favourite stories from your early days, Danny?
Favourite stories? Well, the first story was, really the first time I ever got arrested was I went into Tesco and me and a friend, and it was Halloween time, so we just stood and put on the Halloween masks, right, and we just left them on and stood there. And just, you know, people were walking past, and we were just standing there kind of waving to people as they walked past. And they asked us, you know, how long are you going to be doing this for? And I said, well, is there any time limit for trying things on? And eventually they got the police and we got arrested for harassment. Just trying on their masks. That was my first bit of fun. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff's up on the internet and people have to watch it and decide for themselves. I must say that I kind of slightly miss being very mischievous. So, like today, I was a little bit more mischievous because I went to Liverpool Street and stood in private property. Obviously, it wasn't private. And, you know, and the police officers came out, oh, they got really upset. They pushed me and shoved me and in front of everyone. It was very interesting moment for theatre.
Yeah, like I say, I've seen you turn it round many times on the videos, Danny, and it is, like I say, I can't say it enough, it is an art form.
Can you hear me?
A natural talent you've got. Yes, Jabba, welcome back. Try again, mate, please. Jabba, can you hear us? We've lost him again. Never mind. He's on and off. Well, I'm not going to say like. You're not going to be
Interesting when you get pushed by people. When you get pushed by people, and that's this little. How do you manage like to get sometimes angry people in front of you and just stay cool?
I don't always. Like I didn't manage quite today, but I don't always. But there is a fairly simple trick involved, but it's really difficult to remember to do it, and this applies in all of life, which is basically what I've done. I've done this twice today, which is basically count to 30 with my eyes closed. So 2 police officers came up to me today, asked me what I was doing. I explained to them I'm going to count to 30 just to calm myself down, because, you know, I say, you probably don't know what it's like to be accosted by men in black uniforms. So I closed my eyes. 30 seconds later, I've taken the sting out of it all just by being quiet.
Did you study law?
Well, actually, the only thing I did study extensively, funnily enough, is Jewish law. So I'm quite, I suppose I spent several years studying Jewish law, although I don't use that. But it certainly gave me a good grounding in the understanding of language, and the manipulation with the words that I suppose is a background to starting to become aware of how language is used to control people and to put them into a kind of semi-hypnotic state. And when there's enough people in a hypnotic state out there in the world, then they don't know. They think the other people are crazy. If you hypnotize, you could hypnotize. You could do a hypnosis show and get 10 people up on stage and get them to act like nutcases, but to themselves they would be acting completely normal because they've been hypnotized into believing that it's normal to behave like that. Are you with me still?
I'm still here, but we can't tell whether Jabba is or not. Are you with us, Jabba? We've just lost him again. So yeah, you basically you're saying there you're taking a few moments out to basically meditate, to calm yourself and settle the situation, and that is actually having an effect on the people around you as you're doing it.
That's right. Yeah. It's right. Yeah. It's kind of. But really, it's difficult to remember to do that, and when I don't, then the miracles don't happen. So, for example, I didn't do that like when I was done for the megaphoning, which is this court case is about. Yeah. So when I was done for the megaphoning, I forgot to meditate. Once I get hooked in, it's really difficult for me to pull myself out. So I got hooked in with them, and they managed to get my name off me. It was a council worker, a council official, and he managed to trick me to get my name off me. So I don't always remember to do it. And if it's a very hard case, then you have to do it more than once.
I totally agree with you, Danny. I totally agree with you. The more settled and stable you are in the situation, the more settled and stable the situation will be. Often they will try and exasperate the situation.
Exactly. You've seen the police officer today. I mean, he was awful. He was on camera. He knew he was on camera, but he was so stuck in it. If I put that up on YouTube, it's going to be it'll be a PC Stout type situation. It will be really embarrassed. But he doesn't even realise that, I don't think. I'm not sure. But I wasn't calm. I was calm at first. I calmed myself down with a meditation, and then I kind of lost it again. I lost the calm. So that's when the trouble comes. The good news about the court case is that I'm having a go at exposing that the law itself is problematic. It's not just about my little case. It's only a little law, but it's a bylaw that's used to control people and to shut down freedom of expression. So I'm having an opportunity to challenge that law in court if they don't drop the case. And, their egos are so big that they may not be able to stop themselves. See what I mean? I mean, like anybody would, if you were to look at this logically, you would immediately, from my point of view, if I would look at this and I was Westminster Council, I would immediately withdraw the case because they're using this bylaw, and there's a small risk that they're going to lose the use of this bylaw. So why would they prosecute me if there's a chance of that? But, ego is a powerful thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jabba's back with us. Are you back with us, Jabba?
Yes, I tried to get back, and if I drop out, I just post the question in the chat room. It's not easy. Anyway, Danny, do you make yoga, Tai Chi, Zen, or anything like that?
Am I obliged to answer that question?
Sorry?
Am I obliged to answer that question?
You are not obliged to answer any question.
Good.
That is just my. I just wonder personally how you do it to stay quiet in a couple of moments. I saw you on the videos, but of course not.
Right. I mean, my answer to that question is that I think the best way to answer that question is not to answer it, because it doesn't need anything. You don't need to do yoga or anything. You just need to shut the fuck up. And that is very hard, but extremely simple. It's just really literally shut up for 30 seconds. That is it. You don't need to be a Tai Chi master or do Kung Fu or yoga, nothing. You just need to shut up.
Yeah. Something also that I liked one time in an interview, and I do. It's very, very much self-control. I do that, definitely. One thing that you said in the interview also is that you leave questions open. I really appreciate that, and that is also something I use nowadays. Just some stuff with the question is open. That don't means that you put a limit on it. That means you always can go further in a reflection, and that is often a problem. People they wake up on a certain degree and just put another limit, and that is closing up, and like to reopen or let the question open so you can go further and make further research. Or is some the other day suddenly you have the idea, and I learned that from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, it's just, when it happens, it's just natural. It just comes. And it's amazing what open questions can do. Amazing they can open people up very, very quickly. My favorite one is what's really going on. And I've asked thousands of people that. So, and it's a very powerful way of getting them to connect quite quickly to something greater than the ridiculous narrative that we're being sold. So I'd ask you that. I mean, how would you answer that question? What's really going on?
Yeah, I just thought that would be the next question to you, but that is what I think. What is really going on is that we lost the simple way how life should be. I think life is simple, and we are putting very much energy in it to complicate the life.
Right.
That is what is going on.
Right.
If I see my kids, it's my best teachers. They are. If you ask them what is important in life, is to be happy.
Right.
Is to play. It's like not to have big cars and this kind of things. And I tell them, yes, this is the perfect answer in a way.
Right.
It's really not complicated. We make it complicated. But if I can ask you the question that you ask to everybody, what is really going on?
Well, I have to meditate on that for a bit. Is that all right with you?
Of course. Breathe time.
Maybe play something in the background for people who've got ADHD. You know what I mean?
Bobby can do that.
Yeah, or don't. You don't have to, of course. Okay, I'll be back with you in a minute. I'll just do some meditation on that one.
Just stop it! Stop doing that! And now, broadcasting from multiple ground stations across the planet, this is Dark City Radio.
Want a cigarette? Want a cigarette?
Like a cigarette?
No, I don't smoke.
You should not.
Why?
It's so good for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I'll start then. No, I'm joking.
You don't want a cigarette?
No, I don't smoke anything that's not useful.
What do you smoke?
Smoke things that are useful.
Weed?
Hold on, I'm on the radio. Probably better not to. Hello?
Hi, Danny. Are you
So I
still
just
there,
got,
Jabba?
I just got stopped by someone who said, offered me a cigarette. And I said, well, no, I don't smoke. He said, you should. It's really good for you. Anyway, what's really going on, is...
Yeah.
What is really going on is I mean, I don't know. I really, really don't know. But I can tell you that at the moment, my connection with that question comes in particular to through a question that my 6-year-old niece asked my brother a few days ago, which is, she was saying, what if this world is a dream, and when we dream, it's a dream within a dream? So, you know, is that what's really going on, maybe?
You think we are already in the Matrix?
Well, I think, I don't know if you'd call it the Matrix, but I think it's at least possible that that we are co-creating this. So I don't really understand the physics of it, but Tom Campbell speaks about this a lot. Have you followed him at all?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so I probably can't explain it. I certainly can't explain it as well as he can. Yeah, I can only just share the little bit of understanding, which is that when I'm right now in a park, when I open my eyes and observe what I see, I co-create that into existence. And that if there was nobody here, then it wouldn't be here. It's like a simulation game.
Yeah.
That's what he explains.
Yeah.
Oh, nice bike.
So, thank you. So, you know, and then the question is, what does that even mean? And what does that, as we look out in the world, well, if that's the case, well, what's David Cameron then? He's just a character in a virtual reality show. Yeah, he's not really real. I mean, he's not who he thinks he is, that's for sure. I really doubt he knows who he is. He probably wouldn't understand the question if I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I suspect he wouldn't understand the question if I was to sit down with him and say, David, who are you really? I think he'd say, well, I'm the Prime Minister, you know. Idiot. Don't you know who I am, you idiot? Everybody knows I'm the Prime Minister. Get this fool out of here. So, you know, so I guess, I mean, one of the things I've been contemplating, one of the many ideas, is to kind of create another Indiegogo campaign, maybe, or try and get backers to create like a whole channel, like David Icke's done, but it will be like along the lines of that question: what's really going on? And everything will be analysed, including whatever it is that we do. Yeah, but there'll be like a screen in the middle with whatever, and then around the screen there'll be different types of commentary about what they're seeing, about you know, whatever level there'll be commentary about what anyone sees beyond what seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It is in a way, it is what's going on is what we are creating, and what we are also on, what we are focused on. I think Where the attention goes, the energy flows. That is definitely an argument.
Right. But the extent of it, I think, to really, really appreciate the extent of what that, to really sort of experience that as a reality. To really experience life as you open your eyes, you say, wow, look what I've created. As your children are telling you to fuck off, yeah, like mine do, yeah, including the 6-year-old,
yeah,
right? I can just, am I able to say, wow, look what I've created, or do I get stuck in a personal thing and start getting all sort of involved in this role, this fake role? That's the big test.
And you still find energy to go out in the street and in front of the McDonald's ask the moms if they make their kids happy and for how long?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I struggle with all that at the moment in terms of the time I spend with the family, the quality of myself that I spend with the family, the time I spend with my business, and then the time that I spend with my passion. And I'm sort of always have been for quite a long time sort of half toying with the idea of finding a way of getting money from what I'm doing, and I haven't quite done that yet. And I'm not even 100% sure that's what I want. Yoni, not a good idea. Yoni, if you do that, if you aggravate, sorry, I'm just doing my little one. If you aggravate bees, they'll come and get you.
Oh no.
No, that probably aggravates them.
There's a little fly.
Well, just don't aggravate them. What's the point of doing that?
I'm not doing
You'll make a good. Yeah, but whatever you're doing it to, why are you hurting them?
Because they fly all over the place and I swallowed.
Oh, you swallowed one?
Yeah.
So you're going to get them back, all of them? He's getting all the flies back because he swallowed one. Anyway, are you with me?
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. So that, I do struggle with that.
There is another expression I just swept away that you use.
Say that again. You've got a question? Did you say?
No, I think we've lost Jabba. I'll see if I can get him back for us. Danny, let me ask you, Danny, so we don't get too much dead air, just while Jabba's reconnecting. You're saying about you're setting up a fundraiser through Indiegogo to set up your...
too many goes, you said.
Is it
Indiegogo?
Is it Indiegogo? Is it?
Yeah.
Go Indiegogo.
You're getting a bit carried away with Indiegogo.
Yeah, I must admit, we saw it when David Icke basically attempted to copy what we were doing here on Darkcity Radio after he'd been in touch with some of our crew. Found out what we were doing.
In touch with some of your crew?
David Icke. We found out
right.
we found out through or one particular member who contacted him personally, who told him, who asked him about us, and then he responded, "Wait for my announcement next week." So that was his response, and of course we all know about the People's Radio now. So yeah, even though that come as a bit of a blow to us, we would have thought that setting up a totally free media stream on open source software, the only one in the world, would have been something that he would have jumped at. Of course, that living that dream within the dream, as it was your daughter said, and I do like that, the illusion within inside the delusion that we live.
Right.
So yeah, really. So yeah, you're thinking about doing a film, did you say, Danny? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Seems quite interesting.
Yeah. In February and November, there was a rather officious guy working for Westminster Council, and I don't know how to make this story short, but I suppose people, if they donate to the film, then they'll find out the full story. But very briefly, there's a bylaw which they've been using to control people for years, which says that if anybody is singing, shouting, or using any amplification on any street in Westminster, and that somebody is annoyed, any member of the public is annoyed by this, then and tells you to stop, and you don't stop, you have broken their bylaw. Yeah, which is a rather interesting little bylaw, because only they know this, you see. Can you imagine if the general public knew that you can shut anybody down just for being annoying? You could have a lot of fun with that, shutting your wife down or, your children. So basically I'm in the court and I'm challenging the bylaw itself because the bylaw violates its own conditions. So that's what I want to make the film about, but ultimately that's just the kind of, that's just the storyline, if you like, of the film. But the film will contain the usual sort of things, and it will be made professionally. The money is going to pay the guy to make it professionally. So that's my idea, and we'll see what happens. That's my little 6-year-old in the background, because we're in a very echoey place. Over. Shall I say over when I finish? Just to make sure you're there. Are you there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm always here. I'm the prisoner inside the Dark City, Danny. I'm never allowed to go anywhere. They never let you out. They don't let me out, Danny. No, they don't.
Probably quite wise, really.
Yeah. Well, it is really. I'm also a very naughty boy, Danny. I'm very naughty.
Yeah,
I find it. When confronted with authority, I have actually now started to calm myself down. I have. I'm doing really well.
I'll tell you what you can do. Seriously, I haven't done this, but this is one of many ideas. Print yourself up a certificate, yeah? Not you. Print out the certificate that proclaims that you've got ODD, which is, I can't remember what it's called. Look it up. ODD, it stands for something like obsessive denial disorder or something like that. I don't know. It's basically, they create the disorder for people who don't like to do what they're told. Yeah, it's a mental disorder in the DSM, which is the manual for disorders. So if you could print yourself up a nice one of those, and then when any authority tells you what to do, just tell them, look, I just do the opposite. I'm really sorry, I've got this mental condition.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know that's a brilliant idea, Danny, but it wouldn't work with myself. Unfortunately, I've actually been certified as sane now, Danny.
Have you?
Yeah, they thought I was crazy.
Yeah, but hold on a second, though. Has the person that certified you as being sane been certified themselves?
It was actually the same man who thought I was insane, and I haven't changed at all. So I am very doubtful about his sanity, yes. And what good the piece of paper is in the first place.
Exactly, yeah. So I wouldn't come to a conclusion quite as yet that you're sane. Not if it's from someone like that.
Yeah, I think in my sanity, I have realised my insanity. This is what makes me sane. That I actually know that I'm insane, and everybody else is in total denial of their insanity.
Right.
It works for me, Danny.
Yeah.
It works for me.
It kind of works for me too, if I'm really honest about it.
So yeah, I look forward to that, man. I always look forward to more Little Danny Shine productions. I mean, there's a few of them that have made me cringe, Danny. I mean, there was one instance I did see where you were assaulted by you were on your push bike and you were assaulted. There's no doubt in my mind at all. You were assaulted by was it a WPCSO?
No, it wasn't. It was a proper policeman.
It was a proper policeman, right.
Yeah.
I do remember that. And the famous bike chase. You managed to abscond from the police and make your getaway, with their multi-million-pound London policing force with helicopters and cameras at every corner. Danny Shine was able to evade them on his pushback. So yeah, I do believe, Danny, if my memory serves me correctly, they later came and arrested you at your home, and it was quite a terrifying ordeal for yourself and your family.
Yeah, it is, and I to be honest with you, I don't really talk about that.
Oh, right. My apologies, mate.
It's all right. It's just that the family don't want to get involved with it, so I kind of let that one go. Yeah,
well, to me, Danny, it should have been the other way around. It really should. That's why I brought it up, Danny, to be honest. It should have been the other way around. If somebody assaults somebody on the street, then it should be their home that's invaded. It's them who should be handcuffed.
Absolutely.
And their family put at risk, and not yourself, Danny. So
I know, but that's not the way the world works, is it?
Well, it's the moment.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah, well, that tends to be the way it works with us lot here, Danny, because we kind of insist on that nowadays, through people's actions like yourselves, teaching us, I suppose, to stay grounded and keep it funny if you can. Laughter is a very powerful weapon, especially if you can get Mr. Angry in the laughter mode. Have we got Jabba back? Jabba, are you back with us?
Yeah, for some seconds I'm back, and then I just asked the question to Danny. What have to be done for the real change? What do you think? What have to be done?
No.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing whatever I can, and I'm involved in two major things at the moment. One is this film, and the filming in general, and number two, together with some people, we're playing around with an idea of creating a completely different type of kind of political fellowship. I'm just starting to work on that with some people. So the idea being that the 12-step program, if you haven't got any experience in the 12-step program, then you wouldn't necessarily completely understand. It'd be quite difficult for you to explain. But for anybody that's got experience in the 12-step program, the idea is to bring that kind of, I call it technology, to the way we run a public life. So in other words, the ultimate, to change, we need to know what to change, and to change, it's the deepest level that we need to look at. The reason why things are as they are because of ego. I think. And so ego means different things to different people, of course, but a definition that I think is interesting is the idea that ego is all beliefs and fears. So when we get beyond all beliefs and fears, then that's when it starts getting interesting. So the idea is to create a fellowship of people around the world which would have like very small groups or small groups, and these would and they would be working on the idea of decision making beyond the ego. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone.
It make very much sense. No, of course, I think it's always difficult to say what the change should be, or what have to be done for the change. And I discover.
Well, I mean, the other important thing about what I just shared is that ultimately, it's about it's a horrible cliche, but ultimately, I personally can't see any way of change other than if I start with myself. And, very few people, including me, want to start with myself. There are too many other people out there who I'd rather, you sort this out, you sort that out, whether it's my wife, my kids, my family, my friends, the government, You know, they all need to sort themselves out. But me, you know, so that's bottom line, and that's why the idea of this fellowship is that the purpose of the fellowship would be actually personal evolution. You know, to be able to learn to just get to live life beyond the ego, at least sometimes. You know. So the answer to that question, unfortunately, is me.
Yeah. I say, I like the quote, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even that,
I fully agree with
even that, you know, even that is like, you got to be careful, I think, or I've got to be careful with that, because that, you know, by saying, it's as if you're telling other people to do that. Then you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I choose to be the change I want to see if I can. I do my best. That's all I can do the best, is to be the change I want to see.
Yeah. Fully agree. I just change it on my paper. No, it's true. It's true. It's definitely, I think it's what we can do in all this. A lot of people say, yeah, but you are against the system. What would be the next system then? What do you think about? Would you call it a system what we need to change, or is I would call it's not the system itself we need to change. If not, it would be like from cage to cage. I think everybody need to be aware of what we are doing.
Right. The idea of this 12-step program, and I am not a particularly shining star in this program, but there are lots of people who've overcome massive addictions, massive addictions, right? Which is, you know, that's kind of pretty amazing to be able to come over an addiction. I mean, some people do it without that, but the purpose of the 12-step program is basically what happens in the 12-step program is they promise you. You know, they read out promises. We promise you that if you do this program, miracles will happen, basically, right? So and I've seen that around me. I've seen incredible miracles. You know, and in a way, I think a lot of spiritual teachers would say that a miracle is a change in perspective, really, like a really profound change in perspective. And that a change in perspective can create lots of things in the outside world, things that you can't even necessarily imagine until you've changed your perspective. Until I change my perspective, I can't even imagine it because my perspective is the problem. Yeah, I can't imagine. You know, so it's like until I change my perspective about financial abundance, I can't really imagine being financially abundant in the way that perhaps some others are. So I do have quite a financially abundant mindset, but nowhere near the financially abundant mindset of some other people. And I can't, and until I change my perspective, I can't even imagine it. So coming back to your question, what I think is when we find a way to transcend the ego, when I find a way to transcend my ego, that's when miracles happen. And I don't necessarily know what those miracles are going to be. So I think that could work, you know, in the outside world, which is a mirror of my own little world, which is that if people get together and they're committed to their own personal evolution, they're committed to getting beyond their own ego, and anything can happen. You know, if you have a group of people in a room and they're voting, but not from an egoic perspective. They're voting as kind of representatives of some higher consciousness. Yeah. So in other words, if 9 people vote, you know, if they have a vote, let's say, for the legalization of drugs, yeah, and one group has a vote like that, and everybody in the group is committed to kind of going beyond their own beliefs and their ego. Well, if 9 people vote against the legalization of drugs, and you vote for the legalization of drugs, and you're absolutely goddamn sure that they should be made legal, in a gathering of what I'm talking about, what you would learn from that is actually it's the will of the higher power, or the will of great higher consciousness that can see much, much clearer than you can, that actually now is not the time to do that for some reason. So you say, oh, great, and that's how you get educated, as opposed to what we've got today, which is people imposing their egoic belief systems on other people.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about? I say everything is energy, everything is frequency, and everything is water in a way. And it's also to bring the water in movement. It's like also to talk about new things that goes over a certain limit that is talked like every day. Or like repeated words. In a way, a repeated word is just water that don't move. And as soon as you get some new ideas in it, the water start to move. What do you think about that?
I didn't follow it all, to be honest, because I'm here in a playground with my son, and I wasn't concentrating. I feel a little bit embarrassed about that, but there you go. I'm here with my 6-year-old, so he's kind of pulling me to help him.
To be honest, it's always the best.
so that I'm being honest.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Yeah. Okay. What I think everything is water. I think everything is water, and in a way that if we bring water in movement, the water will change. And if we repeat the words we are hearing from other people instead to think for ourselves, then the things it's like the repeating is like stagnated water. It's water that don't move. Right. And as soon as you bring new ideas in it, like you do it, like many others also doing, and more people, the water get more in movement. That means that could be a kind of change. And I think it's like the nature. It's also, if the water is moving from one side to another, you have different water on the other side. And that is like a little bit how I see it also, like everything is water. So in this sense, if we bring water in movement, the water will change. Right.
I mean, when you were talking, it sort of reminded me of just, I don't know how to say this to people, but I know not everybody is going to like doing what I do, and that's fine, but I cannot stress enough how much fun I have. I mean, I just wish I'd have known about this when I was in my teenage years and had loads of time, I just urge people to just play around, go and stand somewhere with a sign. Just stand somewhere interesting. If you want to be very risky inside a big shopping centre, wow. Just stand there with a nice sign and see what happens. Play with it. It's with such a rich, go with a megaphone if you want. You don't need to always use a megaphone. Go and start asking people unusual questions. Just go up to people at random. Say you're doing a social experiment, and then you can say anything at all. And just go out there, and we need like an attack of art. That's what we need to step up. Someone said recently, step up the art ante. You can have so much fun in the center of the city without spending a penny.
Yes, definitely. I see that you have fun, and that you also that the people reacting very nicely. It's like, oh, well, what is going on? They think it's like what is the next shopping experience, and then Danny is there and will wake their mind. It's like it's amazing, and we had a lot of fun to see your videos too. So
it's an amazing experience.
It's really the way to go. Also to laugh about.
Yeah. I mean, it's Neil Kramer. Have you come across him? You come across Neil Kramer? You must have. Have we gone? Hello?
I'm still here, but Jabba's gone, Danny.
Okay, alright. You've come across Neil Kramer, haven't you?
I've heard the name. I don't know. Jog me memory for me, Danny.
Oh, he's great. I like him. He's interesting. He's just, he's one of these researchers. But he says, like, the whole thing is, he uses the word pathetic. The whole system it's pathetic, which I think on some level it is. And therefore, it's possible to laugh at it. It's so ridiculous that, we need to just laugh at it. And there's so many opportunities. It's so ridiculous.
Absolutely, I totally agree. We have Zach from Zach and Who's Army, Zach and Watt's Army, and he has summoning the nonsense because it's just ridiculous. I really get what you're saying. We have had one question though from the chat room from Lieutenant Robert McMahon, and he actually says, "Is it true that you're part of an undercover group that's been changing the world by raising the power of love?"
Well, it was true, but now he's ruined it because it's now not undercover.
It's on YouTube now.
Right, okay. Right, well, thank you, Lieutenant Robert McMahon, for destroying Danny's secret covert plan live on Dark City Radio. There's another bit of a mess we've just got into. And there is one other one from Lee.
Are you making these up? There's never anyone actually listens, is it? You're just making this up.
No, we have got people in the Mumble chat room at the moment.
You've got two listeners.
No, we have...
Because it's very important to me that we have a lot of listeners, you understand? I am very important. So I hope your listeners know that.
No, we have very few listeners, Danny.
Oh dear. Why am I wasting my time? I don't do any radio shows that have less than 100,000 listeners, don't you know?
Oh, yes, I've added them all up as well, and unfortunately there's not enough people on Earth, Danny. Yes,
I know, we've had this discussion before.
Oh, haven't we? Yes. But yeah, there is one other from Lee. What is your most memorable moment while you've been megaphoning? Any funny things or amazing things?
Well, not today. I'd say a great little video is the meditation disperses the police video that I've spoken about beforehand. Have you seen that one? It's just this WPC comes up to me. I've been megaphoning for 2 hours, asks me what my intentions are. I meditate for half a minute, and by the time I've finished, she sort of basically said, "Oh, all right then," and she's off. She just went. So that was a lovely little moment. I don't really have any, I don't really have any major favourite moments. And if I'm honest, I think it's a bit of a shitty question. Do you mind my flagging off your question?
Brilliant. That was a brilliant answer. Yeah, well...
It's the type of question they ask on stupid chat shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great, because Lee's one of our crew, and it was a real question. That's even funnier. It is even funnier. Are you back with us, Jabba? Jabba? Are you there?
Yeah, I cannot even ask. Yeah, I think with some delay, I'm back. And yeah, I'm really sorry, Danny, for my bad connection tonight. I hope it was not too bad, but I could not really ask more stupid question. I'm sorry, and I hope you still enjoyed. And we just will finish the show. And thank you so much for coming on. And maybe we're gonna talk soon.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Danny. I will listen to the recording. Maybe I will understand a little bit more what you was talking about.
Yeah, because I don't know.
But,
just make sure the listeners know not to believe anything I say. Very, very important. It's
very
all made
important.
Yeah.
In the word believe, we have lie, and in the lie, we have the I, like the all-seeing
thank
eye.
you. Yeah. Oh, very good. I
Thank
didn't
you,
realise
Danny,
that,
for.
yes. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay,
BDcoded on the Arc City Radio. Bye bye. And the last little song. Thanks a lot.
And now, broadcasting from multiple ground stations across the planet, this is Dark City Radio.